We'll call to order the regular meeting of the Eastpointe Community Schools Board of Education, December 12th, 2022 at 6:32. We said that one's fast by a couple minutes?
Yes.
So is it actually 6:30? Okay.
That's exactly.
6:30, okay.
6:30.
Please call the roll.
Mr. Williams,
Here.
Miss Rayford,
Here.
Dr. Early,
Here.
Mrs. Richardson,
Present.
Mr. Roscoe,
Here.
Mr. Grugenberg,
Here.
and Ms. DeVita is here.
Okay, next, Dan would like to lead us in the pledge, if everybody could stand.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gets right to it. Okay, next we have approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Let's call for motion to approve the agenda as written.
Support.
Please call the vote.
Mr. Roscoe,
Yes.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Miss Rayford,
No.
Miss Richardson,
Yes.
Mr. Grugenberg,
Yes.
and Ms. DeVita, yes.
Okay, next is consent agenda. Is there a motion for the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion that we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Support.
Any discussion? Please call the vote.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Roscoe,
Yes.
Miss Rayford,
No.
Dr. Early,
Yes.
Miss Richardson,
Yes.
Mr. Grugenberg,
Yes.
and Ms. DeVita, yes.
Okay, next we have superintendent's report. Superintendent Gibson.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board, and also to the community joining us. This is the superintendent's report for this evening. So I'd like to welcome our 3 new board members who were elected in November. All 3 have been officially sworn in and will begin their new terms in January. We'd like to welcome Cassie Gruenberg and welcome back Dr. Geneva Early as well as Addie Richardson to the ranks of our board. Our central office team has begun the onboarding process to provide individual meetings with the superintendent, books, materials, links to MASB resources. I know Ms. Richardson has already begun looking at the cadre of courses that are available through MASB to help to onboard and welcome our new board members. And our goal as we onboard new members is to help them understand the critical role that they play in this organization, as well as to help them to learn any new skills. So again, welcome to all our new board members. We're excited to carry on the great work that we've been leading in the district. I know Dr. Early won't need a lot of onboarding. She's already on the board. Come on, that was really great. So, is there overboarding? I don't know. But a strategic planning update for all of you. The Strategic Planning Committee met for the last time as a large group on November 17th, and then we also had a follow-up in a Zoom session on December 6th. What we will be bringing to the Board of Education for your approval at the next meeting in January will be a mission statement, a vision statement, a motto, our core values, as well as portraits of a graduate, portraits of an adult working in our system, and a portrait of a district system. What these will do is they are going to enable our school district to operationalize and start to live into this strategic plan. So the next steps will be that we will be actually having a conversation after board approval about living into the plan. And what I love about the contract that the board approved for strategic planning is that Perry Soldweedle stays with the district. So the next things that the board would see after this is approved is we're going to give and create the board a tool to monitor the progress of the implementation for the plan. It will have 5 goals as well as the strategies and actions. So once the board takes action on the strategic plan and the work of the Strategic Planning Committee. It will then launch the central office team, the principals, into living into how the district will move forward into living the plan. So I wanted to update you all, as well as the community, and thank all of the strategic plan members of the team. It has been a robust and rigorous process, and we're very excited and inspired by the work. I see Dr. Early, who was on the committee, nodding. I don't think any of us appreciated the volume of articles and research and the homework that all of the strategic planning team was doing to be able to lift this vision for our district forward. So thank you to the board members who served, as well as all of the committee. School accountability reports. Earlier this month, the state of Michigan did release the 2021-22 school accountability reports. These were issued after a 2-year hiatus. We did have 3 of our schools, Eastpointe High School, Bellevue Elementary School, and Pleasant View, all identified as comprehensive needs assessment. We knew, because we are in touch with our data in our district, that our students and families have had significant impacts. The pandemic has really decimated, people who cared about children, and our kids are coming back to school with gaps and with losses. So many of our children have lost family members due to the pandemic. So many of our families have been disrupted by a loss of income and are experiencing homelessness and different challenges at a larger scale than we've ever seen before. So not a surprise for us to be designated, and we'll already continue the work that we've been doing to continue to give our students and this community the quality education that our children deserve. Eastpointe High School has been working to volunteer in the community. They've been wrapping gifts for the Odd Fellows holiday party. They've been working at the Eastpointe tree lighting. We are so grateful to our students showing up in service to our community. It starts to tell a story about who we are and where we want to be as a district when our children are out engaging in our community in a positive and service-oriented way. We have also been really working on our specials. We have music at all of our schools. We also have been working to ensure that our children have not just gym class, but a great gym class. And then we are piloting STEM class this year across the district, where our children during their specials are getting to experiment with different challenges and opportunities, as well as art. So we wanted to highlight and thank all of our specials teachers for the work that they do, encouraging and growing our children. We have highlight here, Teacher Bex and the music, and the Eastpointe Middle School Drama Club, the Drama Club at Pleasant View. Just another example of how our staff and our children are getting opportunities outside of the instructional day. There was the Eastpointe tree lighting service. I know Mary was present as well, and I got to meet her grandson at the event. But our students were there volunteering. And if you want to see miracles happen, this whole room where we hold our board meetings became Santa's workshop, complete with walls and everything. You wouldn't even know you were in the same room. Former board member Keith Ward's wife, Jennifer, is Mrs. Claus, greeting all of the children. And the line to see Santa and the activities that the city put on for the children. Here I have pictured, they had s'mores outside, and the city has fabricated these children-safe s'more roasting locations. So kids had s'mores, and the Eastpointe Library was here with fun activities for children, and a number of our students participated in the tree lighting and the singing of Christmas carols. And we are grateful and thankful to have a great city where we can be a family town together. A scholarship book presentation last Friday. Kathy Loftus, an alumnus and sister of the late William Webb, presented a book to the Eastpointe High School staff. The family has been collecting photos and information on every scholarship recipient of the William Webb Scholarship. And they compiled it, 50 years of this scholarship being given to Eastpointe Community Schools children, and they had a picture and a bio of every child that has ever received the scholarship. So we thank the Kathy Loftus and the family for continuing the scholarship on. It has been allowing children to have financial backing to go to college from our school district. We are also working on publishing and creating a scholarship page on our webpage to celebrate all of the charitable contributions that are given to Eastpointe Community Schools in scholarship funds. It is absolutely overwhelming, the volume of alumni and charitable organizations that donate to our children so that they can be successful outside of the halls of Eastpointe High School. Upcoming events, we have Eastpointe High School Band and Choir Concert Thursday, December 15th. The Pleasant View Christmas Play will be Monday, December 19th. Holiday break does begin on Thursday, December 22nd, and runs all the way through January 8th. Children will be back in school on January 9th. If you are looking for activities and things to do with your children, our webpage will have a number of links and resources for you. Gleaners will still be running on Thursday, January 6th, 9:30 a.m. at Eastpointe Middle School. And then just a heads up into January, it is Martin Luther King Day on January 16th. And lastly, Board President Gruenberg would like to celebrate someone else this evening. So, Board Member Julie DeVita, this is her last board meeting. Julie began her service in Eastpointe Community Schools on the Board of Education in 2015. And she has served 8 years here. And so we have a nice award to give to Julie. So if you would pass that on down to Julie DeVita. We would like to thank her for serving 2 terms on the Board of Education and for her years of service in the community to children of Eastpointe Community Schools and the city of Eastpointe. And I turn it over to Board President John Gruenberg if he'd like to add anything on to that in celebration of Ms. DeVita.
Well, I'm going to be brief. First off, here's this so you know it doesn't get damaged. I'm going to be brief. I just want to thank her for her service, but I want to reserve most of my comments, as others up here probably will, as for trustees' comments as well. So I'll have more to say at the end of the meeting.
So that concludes the superintendent's report. And Julie, from all of us, thank you for everything that you have done here for Eastpointe. It has been a pleasure to work for you the past 6 months. Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda is the first hearing of the public. We'll open that up at 6, I guess that's 42 or 43. Does anyone wish to be heard? Anyone wish to be heard? Seeing none, let's close at 6:43. Next, we have discussion of business operations, construction projects. Okay.
Good evening, members of the board. This evening, we have an action item for you for construction projects for the summer of 2023. Early November, we had an RFP, a request for proposal for interior doors and casework for 3 elementary buildings, Bellevue, Crescentwood, and Forest Park, in addition to some mechanical and bathroom remodeling at the high school. So the bids were opened on November 30th. They were analyzed by a team of people consistent of Barton Mallow, our construction management firm, Partners in Architecture, Carrie Weissop from the Operations Department, and myself, when we reviewed the bids. And we have a recommendation here for contracts totaling $3,159,965. Now, this represents work for just the 3 elementaries, Bellevue, Crestwood, and Forest Park. We are not coming forward with a recommendation for contracts for the high school yet, as we still have to do some study there and see what direction it makes sense to go in. So we may have something in a month or two on the high school as far as a recommendation for work there. In addition, we'd also ask that you approve a contingency in amount of 10% of the contract, similar to what we did for the work for summer of 2022, for unforeseen circumstances. Sometimes when you open up walls, start breaking up concrete and stuff, you find things that need to be repaired, and that's what the contingency will help cover so that there's no delays in the construction process. We're only going to do work at 3 buildings because there's so much work with this casework and doors that there's just not enough time to tackle all 6 buildings. So the following summer is when we're going to do the remaining 3 buildings. Do we have any questions on this work? We have tonight representatives from Barton Mallow and Partners Architecture, Josh Eisenman and Dan Gwatz. If you have any specific questions, they could help with that.
Are there any?
I just have one. Are we experiencing any material holdups at this time? Do we have all the material that we?
Well, for our existing projects,
Yes. Or the ones that we.
yeah, so
continuation on?
we ideally wanted to do some air conditioning work this summer, but there's roughly a 1-year lead time on, ordering the mechanical equipment, and there's even a longer lead time on getting the electrical panel that supports all the HVAC. So that work is targeted for 2024, and we'll be bidding that out sometime probably later this winter because we want to, secure orders for that equipment, and we may end up storing it here in the district until it's used the following summer.
So that I'm clear, you'll be front-loading the funds, but the material is on its way.
That will be
less.
down the road, yeah,
Thank you.
sure.
Any others?
And this is all covered by the ESSER grant, ESSER 3.
I wanted to ask, the 10% contingency, is 10% enough?
We hope so. I mean, it's a rule of thumb.
Because
Yeah.
I'm like, is there a standard that they normally
Yeah,
put?
would you guys
10%?
comment on that? Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. My name is Josh Eisenman. I'm with Barton Mallow. Can you hear me fine?
Yeah.
Cool. Am I too loud?
No,
Okay.
You can stand up.
My name is Josh Eisenman. I'm with Barton Mallow. So 10% is pretty standard from a contingency dollar amount. Obviously, there's always, extraneous circumstances where, we may need more. But for something like this, a general door replacement, a casework replacement, we're not expecting to find anything that goes, too far above and beyond what's kind of typical. So I wouldn't anticipate that would be anything troublesome.
Thank you.
Anything else while I'm here?
The doors that we have on the 3 schools that you mentioned, they were built with the school, right? So, when the school was built, they were built into the school as opposed to setting them in after the school was built. So would that be an additional, did you tie that in with the 10% or?
So as a part of our bid documents, and yes, I think you're right. I think those doors are original to the school. A lot of them have leaded glass in them, which is a dangerous material if the glass were to break, so we don't do that anymore. That's an older standard. So we have built into the documents provisions for replacing the walls around the doors if we need to because they're original, and we're also planning on doing some, cutting of the existing frames and reinstalling new frames as a part. It's already built into the number, so hopefully the contingency won't even come into play for installing the new doors.
So you won't foresee any structural damage after the doors are removed and replaced?
No. Robert just reminded me too, because those doors are a little bit older, we've also been working with an asbestos abatement company who will be able to remove the doors safely and make sure that there's no contamination of any dangerous dusts or asbestos in any of those old building materials.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a question for Robert. With the number of the projects that have been under consideration and work, we've had quite a few change orders.
Mhm.
Do you know offhand what that percentage is? Has that been under the 10% or over it?
Robert, I could
Yeah,
speak to this.
yeah.
He's the guy that Josh does those.
I do. So I write all of them and send them, I know, to Robert and Christina. So right now, off the top of my head, I think we're probably around 2 to 3%. So this is, like I said, pretty typical. You know, you always want some padding just in case some things come up, but rarely do we use all 10%. That just goes back to you if it's not, used.
I was just curious.
Yeah.
Any others? Seeing none, we need a motion.
Place for a motion to continue the contingency plan for the projects going forward.
Well, actually, it's the whole construction.
whole
plan.
That's what I said, the projects going forward,
Okay.
all of the projects.
Okay.
I'll support that.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, please call the vote.
Mr. Roscoe?
Yes.
Ms. Rayford?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Dr. Early?
Yes.
Mrs. Richardson? Mr. Grugenberg?
Yes.
And Ms. DeVito, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have Human Resources. Thank you, fellas.
Good evening. Tonight, the Human Resource Department would like to present our annual resolution to adopt the 80/20 employer-employee healthcare cost option as set forth in 2011 by Public Act 152, which is the Publicly Funded Health Insurance Contribution Act. We are a self-funded district, so this allows us to keep our costs low and still provide high-quality benefits for our employees. So because of that, it's also requiring a majority vote by our board, and we would seek approval for this resolution from January 1, 2023 to December 31st, 2023.
Is that the life of the policy?
Yep, so annually, the board is
Yes, we
asked
have
to
to do it.
approve this. It's in compliance. The other choice is for the district to go to the hard cap. And the hard cap choice is not what our team is recommending that we go for to keep our health insurance costs balanced out and offer the plan. It would increase the rates that our employees would have to pay. And we see continuing on with the 80/20 as a benefit to the hardworking employees of our district. And we also see that we can run a self-funded plan with a better rate of return for the high-quality programming that we're offering. This is just an annual ask each year that we have to come back and ask the board to continue to allow us to do 80/20.
Thank you.
Anything else? Somebody want to put forth a motion?
I will. I put forth a motion to approve the resolution to adopt the 80/20 employment healthcare costs for Act 152.
Support.
Any comments? I have a question. I don't know, it might be up more Robert's alley. What does the 20% equate to a hard number? Do you know by chance?
It's about 400,000, but
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Are you asking about the employees' rate of 20% or the
No, I'm saying what the
district's
20% what the 20% equates to is a
Yeah,
dollar.
we can run those numbers and then.
That's what I'm
I can
saying. If you
follow
don't
up
have
with
it
you.
here, it's
No.
just a curiosity. It's not going to actually affect.
Yeah, we can absolutely get that for the board.
Okay. Thank you. Please call the vote.
Dr. Early?
Yes.
Ms. Rayford?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Ms. Richardson?
Yes.
Mr. Roscoe?
Yes.
Mr. Grugenberg?
Yes.
And Ms. DeVito, yes.
Okay, next we have second hearing of the public. We'll open that up at 6:53. Does anyone wish to be heard? I see a young man in the front row.
Young man, Dan.
Good evening. My name is Mr. Shannon, and I'm an ambassador for the High School and talked about it before the today. I I just want to make something for you guys, and I thinking about you, and I work it out and give you something to do. So I just wanted to say thank you for all you've done for me. Miss DeVito, I was thinking about you, and I wanted to say congratulations on your last day here. And I'm thinking about you in my prayers and your family. And Miss Gibson, I'm thinking about you in my heart and my family with you also. And thank you for your time. And I wish all you wonderful people for this wonderful Eastpointe district a wonderful Christmas holidays for your family and for your New Year's of 2022, 23. And I hope everything goes well. And let's keep the school going till next year comes, and we'll be all set. So have a wonderful Christmas. Love you all, you guys, and God bless you all, and thank you so much.
Okay, the next we'll have trustees' announcements. We'll start down with Mr. Williams.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for that heartfelt. Thank you, Dan. You're greatly appreciated as well. You and your family have a great and happy New Year as well. I'd like to say welcome to all the newly elected board members. Welcome to the new hires. Looking forward to closing out this year and opening up a brand new year strong and having the same camaraderie that we've had throughout the years that I've been a board member. And Ms. DeVita, it's been a pleasure working with you, meeting you, and spending time with you. A lot of people don't understand how much work we actually do and how much we have to, depend on each other to make the decisions to move the school board and the school system and district forward. So thank you for your service. I know it wasn't always easy making all of these meetings. Some were a lot longer than we intended, but that's what we signed up for. So thank you, and it was a pleasure. Hopefully this won't be the last time we see you. I had a chance to attend the music over at the middle school a few weeks ago. It was very nice to see how the kids took to the music at different stages in such a short period of time. And it was well attended by the parents, and it was just great to see music coming back to the district and the community and the kids really enjoying it. And again, have a very happy, safe holiday season, and look forward to seeing you all in the new year. Thank you.
Ms. Rayford.
Thank you. Julie, it's good to see you for the last time of this year and whatever. But I have to take another path here. I'm not a very pretentious person. I'm not going to be. And one of the things that just really hit home after the last meeting was the comments about welcome to new hires when there were no new hires on the list. One of the things I'd like to see and have seen, we had a candidate listed as a new hire who was into martial arts, and I thought that was great. Maybe we could do something with the kids after school. But on this list, we have in the resume listed a CPL license. Now, I'm not sure why that person thought that was important. I certainly hope they don't plan to carry on the school grounds, but that unnerved me to see someone on there with a CPL license. I was going to bring it up, but you moved the discussion too fast. about the agenda. For a couple of times, I've endured the bullying, the over-talking, the yelling, as an adult. I am a mature adult, an independent thinker, and I will not tolerate it any longer. I had hoped that being on this board would make a difference in this district. But I am not going to go along to get along. I am not a rubber stamp, and I'm not a seat filler. So yes, I read everything. And if that causes a problem and makes people feel like I'm holier than thou, then so be it. But I'm not going to tolerate it any longer. I would prefer getting along with everyone, because I'm really very easy to get along with, until people strike the wrong nerve. And that nerve has been struck. I don't know where you got the idea that you could talk to people any way you want to, or call other board members and convince them to do something they probably regretted. But that's a shame. If we can't respect the right of a person to be an independent thinker and think on their own, then that's really a sham. This is not a team. It's not one band, one sound. The public that views this probably thinks, oh yeah, they get along. And that's not true. And I'm not going to pretend that it is. I would love to get along, but not when I'm disrespected. Thank you.
Dr. Early.
Yes, I want to say, Julie, I am going to miss you sitting right here next to me with all the laughing and everything we do up here. This has been a long few months that you have been missed, and you have been missed, and you will be. But I'm happy to see some new board members to infuse some new blood up here and some new opinions and new ideas. So know that I'm going to miss you. Miss you a lot. I want everybody to enjoy their holiday with their family, and I want you to come back with an attitude of we're going to get to work and make sure our kids get out of the bottom, because they don't deserve to be at the bottom. And I know everybody is trying to work towards making this thing happen. I was very pleased to be a part of the strategic planning group, like to see that room full of people working together, hashing out decisions. It was a great experience. I had never been in a strategic planning meeting like that before. I really enjoyed it. Our table mates was fun. We got a chance to like really get down to the real root and not make it seem like we knew everything. We asked questions. We analyzed what the data and really came up with some good conclusions. And I would hope that once you read the strategic plan that you would say yes to it, and then help the district work towards that strategic plan. Because it was a lot of work. It wasn't just us going in there and not doing what we were supposed to do. That room was full of people with good ideas. So I just wanted to say that, to say thank you to all the people who participated, the community members, the school members, the central office. We had parents, we had students. It was a lot of people that put their time and effort into that strategic plan. And so I really can't wait for y'all to see it so y'all can see the work that was put into it. All right, thank you so much.
Ms. Richardson.
I don't really have that much to say regarding what was presented today, but I was able to take the first course for the SBA. The survey I'm going to have to call because I could do the first from 6 to 9, but then Saturday they wanted me to survey, and my teacher wasn't on there. So I know I'm going to have to call and speak to someone about that. It did give me an opportunity to understand some of the procedures, and we were told to make sure that we ask for certain things or organizational, the policies of this board and different things. But in the talk, of the superintendent, I was beginning to know that at the beginning of the year, that most of this would be taken care of. So I'm sort of in the limbo of making sure that I get those things, because coming in at the end is not a good thing because I knew nothing about it. But with the questions that I asked and the things, you all know that I am an independent thinker, and that I just want to make sure that I understand what I'm doing. All right, so other than that, I thank you. I'm so sorry I didn't get a chance to meet you, Ms. DeVito. But I've been here and for a while, and it's getting to the point where I have to do a lot of reading over the break just so that I can see if I can answer some of the questions and things that I have, and knowing when to call, who to speak to, and whatever. So I'm learning. So I will be using those things once I get a little comfortable. But again, as some have already said, this is our last meeting until next year. And I do want to wish each and every one of you a blessed holiday with your family and friends, and be looking forward to meeting all of you again in the new year.
Mr. Roscoe?
Jumpstart. Whatever does that mean?
Congratulations to the strategic team, and looking forward to hearing the whole plan from just a board member. I think they're doing a great job based on the reports I'm getting from Dr. Early. And the new hires. Welcome to the new hires. Want to give a shout out to the Eastpointe High volunteers. I think they're doing a great job in decorating the trees and other endeavors they're doing throughout the city. Julie, retirement. You got your golf course? You got your golf clubs?
No.
Okay. It's been a joy working with you and learning from you. You've always given us instruction as new members coming in, and I do appreciate that. And it's just been an honor to work with you, and want you to enjoy the rest of your things and what you plan on doing after you're done here. It's been a great two sessions. This is my second session. You've done two, so it's been a great honor to work with you. And just want to let everyone know to enjoy the holidays, stay safe, and just have a great time and bring joy back into this old edifice when we come back together in January. Thank you, Vincent.
Okay, I'll go next. First off, I'm sorry if you felt that the discussion moved too quickly when it came to consent agenda tonight, but if I'm not mistaken, I clearly asked if there was any further discussion after the motion was made, and you did not chime in at that point. So I'm sorry, maybe I have to wait a bit longer for you to react, but, I did ask. Julie, I just had to say that because, you said that the discussion moved too quickly. I don't know what else I can do. So if I ask if there's any discussion on a topic after the motion's made, I think that's about all I can do. So, Julie, I think, everybody knows you as far as sitting up at this table, but I think that is only a fraction of what you have done for this district. I don't know if anybody realizes before she was serving on the board, her, as well as her mother, very involved in the district for a long period of time. And then she decided to run and she became a board member as well, and she served very faithfully as a board member. Unfortunately, there are health reasons, and health reasons have hit a few of us up at this board. Prevented her from making last few meetings. Sorry to see you go. Wish the best for you and your family. And now watch for your car driving by on occasion. You are kind of a neighbor. Make sure everything's still going good. And I intentionally went before you because since it's your last meeting, I want you to have the final word.
Well, I just want to say it's been a pleasure to be up here with everyone. It's been 8 years, and before that, I was a parent sitting over there in every meeting. I think at one point in time, I worked at 3 different schools each day. I was always in the schools, always working with the kids. I think after I graduated East Detroit, when it was East Detroit, I went right to Latchkey, and that was my first job over at Bellevue. So yes, I have been a busybody in the school district for a long, long time before I even became a parent or a board member. I just would like to say that I'm super proud of Mrs. Gibson. You're doing a wonderful job. I hear from everyone that you're doing such a great job. I love to see even the emails and how involved you are and just the videos and all that. It's really, really nice. And just want to say, congratulations. Keep up. You're doing a really, really good job, and I'm very proud. Also, Ms. Fleming, I'm glad to finally see you sitting in a position. I'm very happy, along with Lori Rush. I know it was a challenge when you first got here. So you have worked very hard, and I know we all rely on you so much, and I know even each school, each staff member, constantly, call Lori, so thank you for all you have done. Ms. Fleming, same thing. And everyone else, everybody out of the cabinet over there at the ad building, wonderful job. All the staff members, even prior staff members have, just constantly went above and beyond, kudos to everybody. Because if it's not for our staff members, we won't be able to have any children to teach. So, you got to give kudos to staff. And then for the children, keep up the good work. It's tough. It's not easy, and especially after COVID, hit. It's just more of a struggle for our poor kids. But yeah, I would just like to thank everybody once again, and it's sad, but I've been going through health issues after health issues. Just to inform everybody, I guess in my neck, in between the disc, it's kind of deteriorating, so I got like arthritis, almost like somebody that I guess would be like older would have. So like there's days I can't move my arms or my hands, and it's just to the point where it's just getting really difficult to get out of the house at times. So I'm very sorry I had to miss so many meetings. Don't like doing that. And I will miss everyone. And Dr. Early, I just want to say I'm going to miss you, and I'm so proud of you. I don't want to cry, but you got your doctorates when I got up here, and I'm just so proud of you. Keep it. I said I wasn't going to cry, but I'm going to miss you a lot. We had a lot of fun times up here. Mr. Grundenberg, we live on the same street, so I'm sure I'll see you. Yeah, thank you, everyone. Signing off.
Okay, thank you. I guess the meeting's adjourned. She says so.